Welcome back to Narrator's Cut. Today we're going to show you a 2019 horror drama movie called Midsommar. A couple travels to Sweden to attend a friend's renowned midsummer festival, but what starts as a peaceful getaway gradually devolves into a violent and weird pagan cult rivalry. Enjoy and keep on watching. When the film begins, a mural depicting a peculiar and creepy ceremony is in progress. A sequence of photos of gloomy, snowy woods is then shown to us, with the sound of traditional folk music playing in the background. Dani Aster, a college student, attempts to phone her parents, but is sent to voicemail. A worry for her bipolar sister Terry, who had left her a mysterious note, prompts her to express herself. Dani then phones Christian Hughes, her boyfriend, who is now hanging out with his friends Josh, Mark, and Pell, to tell him about the situation. Although Christian reassures Dani that this is simply another one of Terry's shenanigans, he also points out that Dani is a willing participant in Terry's antics. She receives a phone call from an unknown number shortly after he hangs up. Since it's evident that Christian has wanted out of his relationship with Dani for quite some time, Josh and Mark believe Christian should call it quits with Dani. Additionally, since the couple is planning a vacation to Sweden, Pell predicts that they will meet many other women while there. Dani dials Christian's number once again, this time sobbing uncontrollably. Dani's parents' home is subsequently seen to be invaded by police, who find Terry had poisoned the house with carbon monoxide, murdering her parents before putting the tube into her mouth and taping it there. Christian makes his way to Dani's place to comfort her. Dani struggles to keep her sadness under control some months later. When she meets Christian and his friends, she hears about their upcoming vacation to Sweden, where they will attend a midsummer festival in Haga, where Pell grew up. The festival takes place every 90 years and lasts around 9 days. A particular interest has piqued the attention of Josh, who intends to write about his experiences for his anthropological dissertation. Dani accepts Christian's invitation to be nice, but Christian believes she doesn't want to attend since she's still hurting from the murder-suicide. Dani, on the other hand, thinks she does want to go. But Dani is more concerned, because Christian has only just informed her about the trip, which they will go on in less than 2 weeks. Christian has only just told Dani of the vacation. Dani and Christian went to Dani's friend's house to hang out together. While he is leaving the room, Pell speaks with Dani about the Midsummer Festival, including their custom of selecting a May Queen after the event at the end of the celebration. Pell also attempts to comfort Dani about her loss by mentioning that his parents had died away, but the mere mention of it causes Dani to break down and scream in the toilet. Dani will be accompanying Christian and his companions on their journey. In the Haga, they meet Pell's brother Ingemar and an English couple called Simon and Connie, with whom they later become friends. The rest of the gang consumes magic mushrooms, but Ingemar recommends a special tea for Dani since it has a superior flavor. She accepts and initially likes the vacation until Pell tells her that the group is like his family and that she must go. When Dani hears the news, she goes for a stroll to clear her head. She begins to have a poor trip, and she becomes suspicious when another high group of individuals she comes across begins laughing in her way, causing her to panic. Dani attempts to take refuge in a shed, but is horrified to see what looks to be Terry lurking behind her. Before passing out, she flees into the woods, where the trees seem to shift around her. Terry and their parents appear to her in a dream for a short moment. Dani awakens close to Christian 6 hours after falling asleep next to him. They join their pals in returning to the village, where they will meet the rest of the Haga community for the first time. After learning about the numerous cultural components of this event in the community, Josh inquires about the strange golden tent in the distance. He does not get a linear response to his question regarding the TP, though. Christian is shown attention by a young lady called Maja, who kicks him in the shins as he sits in a circle. Dani subsequently receives a sketch of herself from Pell as a birthday present. She expresses disappointment that Christian had forgotten their anniversary, but he later compensates her with a piece of cake. In response to how long they have been together, Christian believes it has only been a little over 3 years, but Dani corrects him and states that they have been together for 4 years. Pell then transports his companions to the location where they will be spending the night. The next day, the group gathers with the rest of the community for a meal. 2 of the village's oldest residents, Ilva and the laborer, are the guests of honor as they perform a breathing exercise before the whole town joins them at the brink of a cliff to see their accomplishment. As they go along the cliff edge, the elders cut their hands. Visitors watch in terror as Ilva jumps from a cliff and crashes face first on a rock, allowing them to behold her horrible faceless skull in the process. The laborer attempts to jump over, but he only manages to fracture his leg. He writhes in anguish, and the villagers imitate the sounds of his wailing to pass the time. 3 villagers then proceed to strike him in the head with a sledgehammer. Dani returns to her room as Simon and Connie express their utter shock at seeing. This is a natural part of their ceremony, in the words of an elderly villager lady named Siv. The 2 seniors had reached what they believed to be the end of their life cycle, and that prolonged it any longer would have been detrimental to both of them. Upon seeing Dani's anguish, Pell tries to soothe her, believing that it is more related to her recent tragedy than what she has just experienced. She objects when he tries to soothe Dani, claiming that his being close to her is wrong since Christian may be there. Afterward, based on Dani's behavior around Christian, Pell wonders how much Christian matters to her. Dani subsequently experiences a nightmare in which Christian and his pals abandon her and leave her behind. They drive away in the middle of the night as she stands there watching them go, and she is tortured by visions of her murdered family and the bodies of the 2 elders as she watches them drive away. After seeing what they see, Simon and Connie decide to leave. However, as Connie is ready to go, she is informed that Simon has gone off with another villager to catch the train transporting them back to their home. Connie is enraged that Simon would leave without her, and she decides to go out on her own to vent her frustration. Meanwhile, Christian informs Josh that he too wants to write his thesis on the Harga, which does not sit well with Josh. He claims that Christian will never do his own thing without interfering with Josh's doing. Christian offers to inquire with the elders about whether or not they are permitted to assist on the project. Josh subsequently discovers that the ceremonial rituals of the community are based on paintings created by a member called Reuben, a malformed youngster who was the offspring of incest, but is regarded as a type of seer by the other members of the village. Josh requests permission to photograph Reuben's drawings, but he is told that this is not permitted. The corpses of the village elders are buried in the center of the village. Their ashes are scattered on the trunk of an ancient tree, which Mark despises. Ulf reprimands him, and he truly breaks down weeping due to the incident. Mark is later informed about the importance of the tree, but he expresses no emotion in response to it. Christian and Josh are advised that they are permitted to work on their thesis because they do not reveal the valid names or location of the Harga, which they agree to do. The 2 of them are in agreement. Christian also inquires about the village's mating practices, including if incest is expected there. He is informed that incest is not necessarily frowned upon, but that strangers are often brought in to reproduce with the residents. A feast is subsequently held, during which Mark discovers Ulf is gazing at him with daggers in his eyes. Dani also overhears a rumor that Connie has been brought to the police station by a village council member. A female villager then abducts Mark, and the other villagers never see him or hear from him again. Later that night, Josh infiltrates the chamber where Reuben's book of paintings is stored. To avoid being hit over the head, he is stopped by someone he believes to be Mark. After that, they discover that the figure is a villager taking on Mark's appearance. Josh is then hauled away from the scene. Dani, Christian, and Pell are informed that Reuben's book has gone, stolen the following day, and that Josh and Mark's disappearance seems to be suspicious. Dani then participates in competition with the other women in the hamlet, in which they dance around a maypole until one lady is eliminated at a time. Dani discovers that she can communicate with the other ladies in Swedish, after ingesting a medication. After a long battle, Dani emerges victorious and is dubbed the May Queen. Christian is also given a drink that causes him to go on a journey simultaneously. He is enticed and led to Maja's house to steal her virginity. He engages in sexual relations with her as the other senior ladies stand naked around them and imitate Maja's groaning. Immediately after Dani's coronation as May Queen, she is forced to witness Christian having sexual relations with Maja through a hole in the door, which leads Dani to suffer a nervous breakdown. Immediately, the other ladies join her in sobbing compassionately, shouting out loudly in sympathy with her. An outraged Christian rushes out to attempt to locate Dani, but instead finds Josh's leg buried in the mud, as well as Simon's mangled body, which has been turned into a blood eagle by the other characters. A few moments later, he is discovered and knocked unconscious by a villager who throws powder in his direction. It is nearing the ceremony's conclusion, and the elders bring the drugged Christian, along with a peasant called Torbjörn, before Dani, who is meant to pick someone from among the participants to be sacrificed. Under custom, 9 persons will be offered. This group consists of 2 elders, 4 strangers, 2 live volunteers, and 1 picked by Dani herself. After everything she's been through, she chooses Christian as her partner. The men of the community take a fully grown bear and dismember it to insert Christian inside the bear's carcass once it has died. They take him, Ingimar, and the bodies of Simon, Connie, Josh, and Mark to the golden teepee, where they light it on fire. He and Ingimar are killed in the blaze. While unable to move or speak for himself, Christian succumbs to his destiny, while only being able to gasp in anguish, while Ulf cries in despair and Ingimar looks on helplessly. In response to Dani's apparent collapse due to what is occurring again, the villagers echo his shouts. However, as she continues to stand there and watch the teepee burn, and hear the united crying of the people, a sick grin starts to appear on her face as she watches the teepee burn. That's all there is to it. I hope you like the movie. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more recap movies like this. We'll see you soon. Take care.